everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Your See She. And today I have a very special guest with me. I would let her introduce herself so I don't mess up her title because I did already. So, Raquel, go ahead.
So I am Raquel Matthews. I am a school psychologist, and that is specific what it is. I'm not a child psychologist. I'm not a clinical psychologist. I am a school psychologist, and I'm also not an educational psychologist. Those are also
Oh,
lovely fields that other people can be involved in, but I am school, which technically means
right.
anything that happens in a school, I'm
Gotcha.
prepared for.
Gotcha. So, what does a school psychologist really entail?
So you can work from preschoolers all the way up to like tertiary, and
Okay.
basically anything that is dealing with the learning, the behaviors, and the emotions. So there's two kind of major umbrellas we work under. We do the
Mm-hmm.
psychoeducational evaluations, which in simple terms are the testing or the assessments to get the
Right.
understand if you have learning issues, attention issues, or autism or any other anxiety, mental health disorders. And then we do the emotional, the therapy, which is
Right.
to support in the behaviors, emotions, and then I consult and run around like a headless chicken in school some days. But it's fun. It's fun. It's working with kids. You can't
Sounds
complain.
But it sounds like that is covering a lot, right? At what age, basically, you said preschool. What age would that be? 3?
Typically 3, yeah. I can do some very particular because I know my limits. So I
Right.
will not do therapy from age 3 because I am not trained in play therapy. They have play
Right.
therapists in Trinidad who do that santry and they do different things to work with children.
Right.
But I will evaluate from age 3. Once a child could understand directions and points,
Mm-hmm.
I can work with them. And then I actually will do talk-based therapy. So I could do cognitive behavior therapy, which is a fancy word of reframing how your brain thinks about what you're doing, your behaviors, your emotions, understanding that. But it's talk based. I need the child to have a little bit of ability to come back and forth with me. And then I
Mm-hmm.
also do animal assisted therapy because I work with a golden retriever. Bob.
Yes, and he's so
Yes,
cute.
he's the star of the show.
Tell us about that. How is working with I was gonna say your support animal, but I don't know how you would phrase
He's a
it.
therapy dog.
How is that?
So,
Therapy dog.
yeah,
There we
so
go.
I mean, he has become my emotional support animal in his own little way. But so I'm trained in animal assisted therapy. I did that
Okay.
certification in 2018 because I like to be different. I realized like these children, oh God, coming to this random lady to talk about their emotions. And I
Yeah.
love animals. I love my dogs. And I said, you know what? I'm just gonna get a dog. And I did my research. Obviously, golden retrievers are one of the best breeds for therapeutic intervention. And it's the
Yeah.
best thing ever. Everybody loves him. It's very few and far between that you see students are afraid of him, but we do have a crate that he can go in and he pops his head
Right.
out, but it must be 2 out of, and we've been working since 2018 together. Maybe
Yeah.
3 out of how many of those years that people have like, oh, it's more parents, but he's also an icebreaker for the parents. He lays
Yes.
on your foot. He's obsessed with cats, and the kids think it's so funny because you stare out the window looking for cats. He's just, and he helps them slow down and calm down. He's a dream.
Yeah.
I technically don't need to be there sometimes.
That is a really nice creative way to break down the apprehension from a parent coming into that unknowing space. And then for the child to see this lovely animal who's, I guess, in a calm demeanor and receiving the child coming in as well. So I think that's a very
It's
cool,
cool. They
unique
think
way
it's the
to,
coolest thing. They come in the office
yeah.
and there's a dog there. They're like, what? You see, they're like, and I think some of them just literally come to see Bob. I'm like, you all do not need to make your parents make an appointment. Just call and ask if I'm around. You can pop by. But
You're going to have a line of appointments just to see Bob.
yeah, I should really do his own like day, just a Bob day or something for them to come and
Yeah, that'd
spend
be
time
so
with him.
cute. Okay, so I am a parent of 2 boys. When do I start looking at if I am seeing something that I need to discuss further? Do I reach out to you directly? Is it through the school? How do I go about thinking about when and where do I need to see a school
So they're
psychologist?
like 3 avenues, right? So I'm in private practice, so I work with schools all over the country. So you can, if there's a concern and you're like, you know what, I need a psychologist, I need a consultation, you can reach out
Yeah.
to me directly. And then if your school also has concerns with children, behaviors are always the telltale sign that something is up. If you see a change in behavior, that is it.
Right.
Something is going on because they can't always express with using lovely words. They don't have that emotional intelligence. So that's always a cue. So the schools can make that
Yeah.
referral. They'll give you the contact information. And then your typically, hopefully, your pediatrician also is in tune to some of these things. And we do have some pediatricians that do refer quite
Yeah.
often as well. So that's like normally the three ways we go about getting referrals.
Okay. And in particular, the behavior you mentioned, it's something out of the norm, or they're seeing a pattern of behavior that's changing from what you've been accustomed seeing?
Yeah.
How just explain that
So
a
you
little
can,
bit.
yeah, so you know your child best, right? So you can know if some things have
Mm-hmm.
changed. Oh, for example, my mom, you know, love this. She said from the age of 2, she's like, this child needs to see a psychiatrist. I was so
Mm.
explosive, like
Right.
all over the place, kind of really angry, flinging myself down on the ground. And so even if you realize like this, I mean, we don't like to compare to other children, but you feel like this is too much for me to even handle, you know,
Right.
you can say, let me just talk to somebody. I'm not going to hurt your child. It's, or I'm not going to
Yes.
hurt you, but it's if you're ready. That's a big part of it. Because remember, working with children, I could talk to a child all day, but I need parent
Yeah.
involvement. If you are not involved
Yeah.
and you're not willing to hear, it's kind of like we're just wasting time because the child could just
Yeah.
continue or they get stuck. I refer to myself as the
Yes.
bad news bear. Um, because I am typically the person you're seeing when something bad is happening. And so if I'm doing an early intervention meeting, meaning I'm saying, okay, let's go to speech and language, let's do occupational therapy. If you see
Yeah.
me again, that's not good. So do what you need to do
Mm-hmm.
now, because when you see me, I'm
Yes.
coming in with a diagnosis for your child, which is a scare
Right.
tactic, but sometimes that's what parents need to do to, because we do have a wait and see.
Yeah.
And I know
I
he's
was
a
gonna say.
boy, let's wait, he'll talk.
It's pushing
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
And you know, so sometimes like, no, we have people, we have really good specialists in this country who can help and they'll tell you
Mm-hmm.
early intervention is the brain can do all different things. So you don't want me
Yeah, because
go ahead.
they're probably like just saying, "Oh, that's just tantrums. That's normal. If a child is behaving this way, they're acting, or they're spoiled, or that's normal." You know, like you have to also look at other factors of if the child is repeating this behavior for every little thing
And if
and
it's
not being able to manage their own emotions, which I think a lot of adults can't do half the time. But
yeah, or if it's disrupting
yeah,
the flow of the family, if
right.
it's causing stress and stuff, something is going on. Now, I'm not saying everything is a major issue. Let me tell you, can't tell you how many times everybody's like, Raquel, I told the child the same thing, and I'm like, you know what, but I'm not mom, I'm not dad.
Yeah,
And sometimes
that's
it's
true.
just coming from somebody else makes a hell of a
Yeah.
difference.
That's very true. I've seen that with my own children where the coach will just clap twice and everybody's in line. And I'm like, it's not working.
It's like, no, what are you doing?
So I know that for a fact as a parent. They, our, they listen to us and it's just like, la di
Yeah, it's
da di
like
da.
background noise. It's like, whatever,
Correct.
whatever you see, I don't
Correct.
care.
In terms of how you got into this career, let's say how you decided to get into
Well,
this
I
career.
feel, you know, when you think your life has been planned out for you, it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. So my mom said she thought I needed a psychiatrist from the age of 2. So I did actually start seeing a psychologist from 9. But I always want to be a dentist.
Right.
I thought, love teeth, I'm going to be a dentist, an author. And then when I went to Penal Convent,
Yeah.
I science was,
Shout out to HFC.
you know, I just
I have so many HFC girls on this
you know, they're
podcast,
probably
you
like,
wouldn't
God,
believe.
that's all they want inside. But no, but
Yeah.
we need some recognition. I feel like
I think so.
we are a strong. We represent South girls really well, and I feel like
Yeah.
I don't want to cause a war, but science was not it for me. My science brain was
Right.
not activating, and I had a lot, even at the age of 9, knowing how much Mr. Dolly helped our family and me. Reckon I was like, I'm going to go
Mm-hmm.
into psychology, and I pivoted. Of course, Penal, we had to do CAPE before it was
Yeah.
mandatory, and I was in that
Yeah.
year, and I did 1 year of CAPE, and I was like, this is nonsense. And I was always very academically driven, and I will never forget our literature teacher, Miss Latu.
Yeah.
She came out in upper six, and she's like, "Girls, I'm so sorry," because she had a Guyanese accent, right?
Girls, you said it
Girl,
so
my
well.
dad is Guyanese too. Girls, I'm so sorry. I taught you how to answer these questions wrong. And I'm like, well, if I am not getting a scholarship, what is happening here? Because my grade unit, I think I got a 1, a 2, and a 3, and then we're still doing sociology in A's. It was just bacchanal, and everybody had left. My brother had left. I was
Yeah.
very close to him. My cousin
Yeah.
had left to go to university, very close to her, and I was literally battling depression.
All
So
right.
I dropped out of upper six, pulled out,
Wow.
yeah, and wrote SATs. And so by August 2005, I was in Plattsburgh, SUNY Plattsburgh, the most
Mm-hmm.
random school in the earth. When you see it, you're like, what am I doing here? And continued my merry way. And in my junior year, I was like, well, what am I know I have to do my master's because psychology, you have to do
Mm-hmm.
something more. You can't just walk around with a psych degree,
Right.
right? So I was like, okay. And I always knew I loved working with children, but I didn't want to be a teacher. Don't have the patience for it. Didn't want to be a teacher. So I remember I can picture myself now sitting in my dorm going education and psychology. And Wikipedia page popped up and it was talking about, and then it had school psychology. So I clicked that link and I was like reading about it in a school. You do these evaluations. Never seen an evaluation, never seen a test kit in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is it. This is what I want to do. And I just told my mom that I want to do school psychology. And she's, I guess, Google Bands on herself. And would you believe SUNY Plattsburgh had a school psychology master's degree? I
Wow.
had no idea. Even when I was there,
Yeah.
no clue. And I was like, oh, okay. And just it fell into me and
Yeah.
I loved
It was
it.
meant for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
being the most
Wow. That's
impatient person, I have to work with the most patient population.
real test of patience.
Yeah. Trust and believe.
Wow. So after you finished your masters, you immediately came back to Trinidad, or did
No, I
you
did. So, but we do a year-long internship. So it was in Plattsburgh,
right.
and you're in a school working, and it's a 3-year master's, right? So in a school
Right.
immediately. So I worked in a preschool first, then a middle school, and then we have our internship here. And I'm like, Plattsburgh is very white. It's upstate New York. I was like, I need diversity. I represent Trinidad
Yeah.
and Tobago. I need a diverse population. So I up and
Yeah.
applied all over Florida, drove around Florida interviewing, and I got 2 out of my 3 internships, and I chose Orlando. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna live in a big city, which I did do. But
Right.
and I stayed there for a year. I could have stayed on, but I said I'm coming home
Yeah.
to see what I can do, and it was. It's still a rude awakening up to this day, but they don't realize the lack of we are a developing nation, but it was a
Yeah.
shell shock for me to realize
Mm-hmm.
how behind we are in representing the special education population and mental health on a
Yes.
whole.
For sure. Definitely 100% agree. I think the amount of guests that I have had on this podcast, as well as just colleagues, etc., and friends and family, that we don't have enough. We really don't have enough to support, and we need more. So, powers that be need to put
We
that
need
into
to-
place, and also private citizens as well. I'm sorry, but we can't wait for everybody to be all together. so, so in that time when you came back to Trinidad and you were shell shocked by how everything was not as, I guess, perfect,
Not so
maybe
easy.
not easy.
No.
Was there any moment in time that you felt that you wanted to walk away from this
Cool.
career?
Yeah, I was ready to pack up and move to Qatar to go to an international school. I can remember.
Qatar?
Yeah, because they're always looking for school psychologists in the international schools. I'll never
Ah,
forget. So I
okay.
came home and I worked for a psychologist for about 9 months, and then I was like,
Right.
this is not it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically you're supposed to be mentoring me on this is my ruffles and feathers, but whatever. They told me I had now done therapy. I was now given my own therapy student, and they said
Right.
I was like, it's your first money studying. Like, what did I say the right things? And I was approached and I told them how I was feeling, and they're like, do you think you're cut out for this? And I was like, oh.
Oh.
And then we had a disagreement over because I came back when it was autism was now really being diagnosed. And I remember when that
Right.
person hired me, they said I had the most experience in autism. And then we were
Right.
assessing a child together, and they were trying to give
Mm-hmm.
a diagnosis called pervasive developmental disorder, not NOS, not otherwise specified, which is what they used to use to not say autism. And I was like,
Mm.
this child has autism. When this child comes
Right.
back in 3 years and then you tell the parents that this is autism, they're going to have a freak out because in
Yes.
2012, autism was still a very scary diagnosis and something to
Mm.
digest. And we didn't have as many. I mean, we still are limited in our services, but we have a
Yeah.
lot more. I was like, no, I'm going back to South. I'm going to give South what it needs because we had nobody in South. We
Right.
had maybe 2 speech and language. We had no occupational therapists, and I don't think they had anybody
Yeah.
that I was aware of. So yeah, I started up the. And then I remember I was trying to contact the school, and they did not want to meet with me because they didn't know my name. And I was pissed off. I was like, you see this shit? I am done. I'm done. This lack of respect. And
Yeah.
I found a whole, that's how I know it was Qatar, because I found an international school in Qatar. My brother was like, yeah, go make some US. And I was like, yeah, go up, make it. Came outside on Saturday morning, because at that point I was still living at home with my parents, and my mom was sitting down, sobbing. No, Shanta, when I tell you sobbing, I'm like, what happened? She's like, you guys went to Qatar. You be so far. What happened? Like, what is going
Oh
to
God.
happen? And I just was like, and I hadn't even like filled out the application. I had just,
Yeah.
and that,
She had her own freak out.
yeah. And I was like, okay, well, let's start. Let's keep plotting.
Yeah.
And I had to make my
Yeah.
name for myself. I think I
Yeah.
went a different route because I mean, I didn't grow up in the West. I am from South. I don't have those
Yeah.
connections. So I just did things my own way, which probably pissed off a lot of people. They're like, probably, who does she think she is? But
Yeah.
I did it and I'm still
You
here.
see, she?
You see, who she feels she is, going on setting up her own practice. Well, it's still here. I'm still
You
here.
see? That's why I like this show, because it's always when you hear the guests talk about either some kind of obstacle or some kind of test, whether it's somebody testing them or they have, like, a lot of people come up with this thing with bad mind. Like, I'm arrogant enough to prove you wrong and I'll do it my way. Like that's what I'm hearing from you. Like, you wanna see how to do it? I'll do it my way and I'll show you I could do
Yep.
it.
I'm very
And you did.
competitive. I'm a real bad mind. And when I was graduating, they said, what do you plan to do in your future? And I was like, I'm going to be the best school psychologist in the Caribbean. And I
Yeah.
100%, I mean, we have other psychologists. I 100% believe I'm the best school psychologist in the Caribbean. Well, not in the English-speaking Caribbean, but I 100%
Yeah.
believe it. No, that's my
Yeah,
truth.
well,
Could be somebody else's different truth. But for me,
correct. That's
that's
yours.
mine.
Yep. That's right. And what do you think was the hardest thing that nobody saw behind the scenes?
I think it's up to today. I struggle with time management
Mm-hmm.
and putting up boundaries. So, and I understand,
Mm.
I try my best because it's a thin line, right? Where I'm
Yeah.
working with people's children and
Yeah.
I am sharing a very private connection where they're
Mm-hmm.
sharing and like I'm basically there for them when they need me.
Yeah.
And, but I think people think I have to be accessible to them all the time. And I wish I could
Mm-hmm.
be. I 100% wish I could be. And so saying no has probably been one of the hardest things to do. And I didn't do it too often. So I'm really now trying to put up my boundaries. Sorry, Bob is like all
Yeah.
upon me.
That's okay. Bring
If
Bob
you
in the
see
picture. It's fine. Bring Bob.
so that is one of the hardest things. And I give and I give. So I work really late.
Yeah.
I will see children up and I swear if I said I was working till 10 o'clock at night, I will probably
Oh
do that.
gosh.
And I don't think people realize that then I also have to write reports. So I sacrifice a lot of
Mm-hmm.
my Saturdays and Sundays not having a life. And I come home overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I come home Sundays and I'm in tears from exhaustion and I'm like,
Of
oh gosh.
course.
And then people are messaging my phone and I'm just like, I need a break.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you are human first before you are a school
I also
psychologist.
don't like to do the poor me, pity me because they're like, well, you chose this. And
No.
I know I did, but I just wish people could also see me as
Yeah.
a human being at times first rather than,
Correct.
well, I got your number, so you don't work weekends. And I'm like, do you work weekends? Or do you work on public holidays? And I'm like, do you? Like, so,
You need to put up that business WhatsApp message that says, "Hi, my working hours are da 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 da
oh, they
da."
don't
I'll
care.
get back
They
to you.
don't care. I mean, I get it. Now, people, this is not me saying
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
understand, but I just wish they realized my
No,
job
but
doesn't end when I
yeah,
close my laptop or when I
correct.
walk out the office. I have hours of
Yeah,
reports to write and
of course.
think
You
about,
have a
right? And I
life
would
too.
like to have a life.
Yeah. The other doctor that I did interview, Dr. Boxell, also said that was the hardest thing because she's a OBGYN, so she has to deliver babies and she's called out a lot and stuff. And she's like, sometimes I also need my time for me. And she's a mom, she has 3 kids, so I totally understand it. And I feel it in my gut for y'all because y'all have a very important role in kids and parents' lives. And it's really hard, obviously, to draw a line.
Yeah.
So I feel it. So parents, please give Raquel some space to have a nice weekend.
Yeah, please. And I'm sorry, and I can't take every child. It's not that I don't want
Yeah.
any time, and I don't have the
Yes,
time all the
of
time.
course. So what does being a Caribbean woman mean to you in your journey? Because you would have had some experience abroad and coming back into Trinidad. Do you think it opened doors or do you think it closed doors?
Open for sure. It's my favorite thing. I love a shock factor. So
Yeah.
when I was doing my internship, actually, it was so funny. My supervisor's name was Bob, one of them. I remember when I went to meet with them, they actually stationed me in a part of Orlando, in the school district that I was, like the Caribbean area, right? Because I was in Trinidad. And they were expecting this black person to come in, right? And normal. And it was so funny because when I walked in, they were like, it was just like, it was an icebreaker, but it was also, they were like so confused. But
Who's this white girl?
they used me in like, especially in the really, like in one of the high schools where there was like, I'll never forget, like the experience I got was crazy. There was a Trinidadian mom who had a child. He
Right.
was 14 or 15, but he was a paranoid schizophrenic, which to see is something. And they had
Wow.
me talk in a meeting
Yeah.
to help her feel understood. And you could see when she heard the
Right.
accent, that accent was just like, you saw her just
Mhm.
like melt. And it's
Aw.
also, in Trinidad, it's so funny. You mentioned my dad is Guyanese, right?
Yeah.
And early in the career, I used to do some training with teachers out of Mount Hope with a program out there. And it used to be so funny because, they come, they're coming and they see this white girl, teen
Yeah.
eyes, and they're like, what she know about
Yeah.
our school curriculum? And I give them a story. I don't tell. I always start with a case study of this girl, Marie. And I say, Marie went to private school, then she went to public secondary school. She's got very depressed and was abusing pills and then dropped out of Form 6. Where do you all think Marie is today? And if you hear these stories, they're like, well, Marie
I
must
could
be
imagine.
dead. Marie, all kind of things. And then I say, well, I'm Raquel Marie Matthews.
Yeah.
And then I give them my story and I'm like, so y'all are seeing me, but my dad is Guyanese. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, don't let this blonde hair fool you. And I kind of give them when I say I grew up in Paxton, me on the cement factory.
Yeah.
I went to school at Holy Faith Convent Penal, and now I live in Diego Martin. They're like, oh no, you're everywhere.
RL full circle.
And it's just, I love that's the pride I have of being a Trinidadian. Like, even my dad's side of the family is so mixed up. I feel it can be just a random conversation start. Being a Trini is like my favorite. I mean, the thought of being from somewhere else makes me feel like, oh, that must be so depressing. Imagine you cannot say you're from the Caribbean or you can't say you're from Trinidad. How sad is that? We are just such a vibe.
How sad are you? We are a vibe. That's really it. No, and I love it that also too, like I feel the question I ask everybody about the Caribbean, but like I feel like now I need to ask if you were from South. Like, like I feel I'm gonna turn this around now.
What?
Versus or not.
No, but it's because I work with the two different types of schools and FBA culture in South and FBA culture in Port of Spain is like two different things we're dealing with. It's so it's funny, but it's not funny because of how extreme it could be. But
which one is worse, South or Town?
Oh, definitely still South. I mean, I love being from South and we love our academics. And I think we get a little like the competitive streak in South is insane.
Yeah, I could imagine. What do you think is one thing that people underestimate about you?
Oh, I don't think they realize how good my memory is. I don't think they realize how intelligent I am. Like, no one took my own horn, but I'm real smart. My parents didn't. They said they didn't realize I was smart until I was in secondary school.
What?
Yeah, no.
And let me tell you, your Raquel's brother is also very smart. Like, obviously, your family has some sort of smart genes in there. Okay, both of them.
Yeah. No, but like, and then we'll pair that with the bad mind. So and I use it as like my superpower, right? Especially in therapy, I have to be processing information and stuff, and I don't even know. I will remember things people have said, and I will like piece it together. And my
Right.
memory's insane, and pair that with just understanding human behavior. I could be a triple threat. Like I have the intelligence, the memory, and then how quickly I'm firing with that bad
Yeah.
line. Ooh,
So y'all don't underestimate her,
no,
okay?
don't. I will fight. I used to fight. I don't fight anymore. I will channel that into a competition.
Ah. What is one fun fact about Raquel that we don't know
Oh
about?
my God. I guess I was the crazy hair lady. I used to do hair.
I remember. Yeah. She did have some hairstyles back in the day.
I had every color. I used to do hair shows as well, so I was a hair model.
Ah.
I shaved sides of my head. I had pink hair, blue hair, red. I had every dreadlocks. Oh my gosh. This is when I turned 30, I remember telling my hairdresser, I was like, I have to settle down. I have to keep it one.
My hair has to settle down.
I think I have to approach it now a little more professionally. But yeah,
Ah.
I was that person. You probably didn't realize, may not have realized it was me, but some people, I know South people know it was me. I had pink and blue hair and shaved side
Yes, I
and
remember the pink. I remember the pink hair for sure because we saw knockabout in celebs and
ooh,
nuts and whatnot. So we'd always be around each other. And I
yeah.
remember the hair being pink. And I also, let me tell you, used to look at Raquel and be like, oh my God, this woman could probably bust somebody's mouth. You just had this way. And it's not in a mean way, but like you could see that you could handle your own. And that's what I was like, if I were to be in a fight, I would pull her in.
Oh, yeah, that was it. It was always, it's so funny. Out of my friend group, I'm the baby. But
Really?
yes, I'm the youngest, but the tallest. And
You had height.
And then it was always, again, story from school. I
Yeah.
went to Salmon, the private. I went to a very small school, and then I go to Penal,
Yeah.
and I get pulled into the St. Gabriel's girls' war, right? And so I'm friends with St. Gabriel's girls and whatever. And then there's the war with the uppers, the form below them, and all of a sudden, I am being called white horse in school, and these children are neighing behind me, and yes,
What?
and I was getting Form 4, Form 5, and there was some cuss out stuff, and they come to propose my friend, and she was behind me, and I had to be like, little girl, mask on. So it's so funny. I've always, yeah, I've, like,
Clearly.
yeah, and if you came around my brother, well,
Yeah.
that was it.
Fire.
I was always around the boys. I was always outside with the boys,
Yes.
and Sean was on the
That's
football
true.
team. And so I just also thought I was a badger because I knew I had a whole press football
Side.
team behind me. So oppose me if you a little cocky. I think my mother was be like, oh my God. But I thought, and also in TCL, we had security at the gate, right? And they sometimes
Yeah.
would be partying and alignment too. So thought I was like protected. And I'd still up to this day talk to everybody. When he bouncers that, oh God, what was the club platinum? The dog that
Good.
bouncers. I was real
Yeah.
good with him. Like he was like, girl, you should come and work. I'm like, boy, I'm still in school. I
Come
have
on,
school in the morning. But we in the club. I think I used to go through an identity crisis at times, but I don't know. I just,
You were figuring out yourself.
yeah.
That's what we have to say it. Yeah, you were figuring out yourself. Don't worry, I did the hair thing for a long time too, because I was just like, I'll get bored and look for something else. And yeah, I had my hair. I don't think I've ever done the blue greens, but I've done a lot of blondes, somewhat orange color. That was horrible. A lot of reds and the same thing, shave,
But
cut,
yeah,
all of that.
all you
But
yeah.
yeah, if it's figuring out, honestly, it's figuring out who you are, what you like, and what you think works with you. So no harm in
No,
discovery.
always. And that's one thing I give my parents respect for. I'm sure my father, I think only one time I came home with a hair, I was orange, and he was like, absolutely not. Other than that, I think he just used to be like, hmm, just used to wait and see what walked through the door and hear that I was going to the hairdresser, but he never beat up.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah. What is one thing you think Caribbean women need to stop apologizing for?
Their strength. How do I say this? We lower ourselves in a way like we always still allow men to take front. And I
Mm.
think if you look at our history, women are really the backbones. I was in a conversation this weekend, I was just like, somebody saying how a man makes her feel secure and safe. And I'm like, okay, but like, do they?
Do you
Do
need
you need
to?
that?
Yeah,
That's what one of my friends
exactly.
was saying. Like, I
Yeah.
think we underestimate what we can do. And I think we back off because we still stroke a lot of egos.
Right.
And I think it's time we realize we're in a world that we don't have to keep padding and protecting. And even I feel
Yeah.
I used to dumb myself down at times,
Mm.
and I'm like, why? Why was I like hesitant to
Yeah.
speak my mind? We have
Yeah.
such strong voices. And it's not about being emotional because we have emotional strength, but we also women are
Yeah.
very intelligent in this country, so intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we came together a little bit more, I feel like that we are a bit still pulling each other down. But I do
Yeah.
wish that strength we didn't apologize for, because then when we get activated, it's almost in a bad way. It's like we go to the extreme, and
Mm-hmm.
I just like, we don't have to apologize for making noise. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why we definitely need more conversations. And I think when you do have the conversations, you realize the commonalities or, the thinking is probably there and they want to. It's just nobody has activated it, as you
Yeah.
said, as yet. So, yeah. What is one piece of advice that you wish you had gotten in your 20s?
To travel, I was such a muck. Such a wimp.
But you went to like the random college.
Yeah, but that was it. And my college was in upstate New York. Do you know I only went to New York? I mean, it was like 4 hours by train. I only went to New York
Right.
City when my brother was graduating med school.
Oh,
University. And he was in England. I was so stupid. Let me tell you how
yeah.
much I love being in Trinidad. I used to come home for every holidays, but he's like,
Right.
Rax, come England, because he was there. And I know.
Yeah.
I go at home. Ask me if I've reached England yet. Ask me. No, I haven't.
No. Oh, gosh. You need to book that trip.
I know.
Go on booking.com after this and start
I
looking.
will try.
You need to book your
Have
trip.
to make. I
Yeah,
did
because
do some US spending, so maybe for not for the next credit card rotation.
yeah. But yeah, book it up. And I agree. I think traveling when you're young and you could, one, afford it because you don't have a lot of responsibilities in terms of you don't have a mortgage and a loan and blah, blah, kids and all that, is how you get experience and exposure to the bubble outside of you.
Yeah.
Because in Trinidad, we do live in a lovely bubble. And I always tell my nieces and nephews to please get out because they're so sheltered. And I feel so like gutted for them that when I was younger, I mean, I pushed myself and paid for myself to go as many places that I could have.
Yeah.
Now I can't as much as I can because 2 kids and responsibilities, but I would always put travel as one of the top things that I would say to any young person to do.
Yeah.
For sure.
I wish I did it. That's my one regret. But everything happens.
You still can.
Yeah, I'm
you're
still
super
free,
young still.
and it's just everybody will have to relax when I take time off. That's okay.
Correct.
That's all right.
Correct. You'll give her a damn vacation.
Please, if anybody would like to sponsor it, even better.
That's what energizes you, whether it's a song, a book, a mantra, food.
Day to day, I think you know what it is. And again, I guess it's being part of the Caribbean. Your parents sacrificed, right? My parents did not give me any debt, student loan. They pay. I mean, I don't know how they did it because they paid for 2 children to do high degrees. So I will never stop. Meaning,
Right.
I might be overwhelmed. I might be crying. The next day when that alarm goes off, I am cooking. I'm going. Everybody looks at me like, you don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee. I run on pure adrenaline, which may not be good, but I have a routine. I know I need a routine. That is one thing. And then again, I sound so cliche, but all I do is listen to soca.
Yeah.
And that is how I go. And it's so funny because of all what was happening with Blaze leaving his radio and going to Scotch.
Can I tell you what I was playing just now? Palance.
So like he's my I'm obsessed with him. Like, so
I will tell. I just spoke to him yesterday because he's a really good friend of mine.
He is. The last 2 weeks were rough. He is what I listen to. That's what I get good in the morning like that. And again, it's Trinidad people calling and I'm cracking up and
the drama,
and and how I watched the podcast he was on last night and I was sitting on there smiling for like 2 hours. But there's a combination. I know I have to. There's no choice not to.
Yeah.
I always make I did ballet for like 8 years. I hated it. And I was like, when I think I eventually to my mom was like, why didn't say anything? And I was like, I didn't know I could say no, I don't want to do this because I saw my parents sacrificing and doing it. And it's just never a question of not showing up. So
yeah.
And it's when I can't do it, my people get me through it. It's our
Right.
music or it's our conversations on the radio and crap. Just me. I just think we're such a funny people. I love us.
We are. We really, really, really are. It's yeah. I will tell
Oh,
Blaze.
he's probably like, God, I'm like,
No, no, actually he is one of the most down to earth people there
oh,
is on radio, to be honest. Like him and JW, they are the coolest, nicest, most normal people
no,
you will ever meet.
he has.
Just real chill.
I used to listen to them on when I was in university too. When I have literally
Yeah.
always streamed them, as it's so funny. It's like he has been a part. He doesn't know, but he's been a part of my life. When was that? 2005, and when did they go live? Probably 2005, I think, too, on Red.
Yeah.
So he's been in my life that entire time. He's like my big brother.
Oh.
He doesn't know it, but he is.
That is so cute. Is there anything you want me to touch on with the school psychologist?
But it just really is. It's nothing to be afraid of. We don't have enough still, so it's just to be patient when you do get that referral. It's not that everybody can. How do I say this? We are overworked, we
Yeah.
are overloaded, and it's not that we are recognizing it. It's just, I don't know how we are going to streamline this without getting more people into the field. So if anybody
Right.
wants to do school psychology, I highly endorse it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just understanding that when we say no, it's not that we don't want to. And I would love to
It's
help.
capacity.
Yeah, I would love to help every
Yeah.
single child with any issue, but
Yeah.
and also don't wait. If you are concerned or if somebody mentions anything, it's not an insult. It's better just to go and see a specialist and have a conversation. And I
Mm-hmm.
promise, getting a diagnosis, it's just letters and words. It gives understanding to what is
Yeah.
going on with your child. And once you understand how the brain is working, it is so much easier to understand behaviors. Like it's like, oh,
Right.
that's why he's overstimulated. That's why he's rolling on the ground. He just needs to,
Right.
it's not just, oh my God, it's what's happening. It's so much like
Yes.
I feel like parents breathe, but I'm very big on education. So that's why I've done this big push on my social media. And if anybody sees
Yeah.
my psycho ed reports, a typical psycho ed supposed to be like maybe 15 pages. Mine is about 50 something, 60 something, because I will
Mm-hmm.
break down every single diagnosis because I am about educating. I know we lack, and it's not a fault of the teachers. It's because
Yeah.
our system lacks a lot.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I try to really educate. So I will explain a diagnosis, give you recommendations for home, give you recommendations from school. If you tell me your child is also having sleep issues, I'm going to be researching that. So it's,
Right.
I do find school psychology is an unknown term still, which is fine. We don't have them in the system. Don't think I didn't apply to the government a few times, and they have school psychologists in the Ministry of Education. I'm
Yeah.
not too sure what their role actively is, but I do know they're there.
Mm. Right.
But my role is private practice, but I work with any school anywhere. I've gone down to as far as I work with children from Caracas, Miaro, all the way up in the east. I'm all over. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm a headless
Yeah.
chicken all the
Oh
time.
gosh. How do you prepare yourself to give the parents that diagnosis?
Well, the nice thing,
Because I can imagine that's not as easy as it sounds.
no, but that's what testing is, right? We get evidence-based
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I think my life was planned out for me because my supervisors and the way they taught me was like one of them, he was like, you show the evidence and you use your observations. Your observations are what tie everything together. So that's exactly how you'll see me write. Like I'll use
Yeah.
my observations and I just break it down and I try to be positive because I don't see any diagnosis as a negative. And then,
Right.
it's not fixing a child. It's a hard thing because we are trying to put a child in a neurotypical world and
Mm-hmm.
we are neurodivergent children. So,
Yeah.
but it's been hard sometimes when it's a rough case or something is going on and I have
Yeah.
those moments. But I've learned to separate
Right.
and which was hard as well. That is just experience. That is just doing it religiously and just
Yeah.
realizing you have to let the evidence speak for itself. And some parents I know probably might have gone and tried to get a second opinion and it might have been a different opinion, but I know my testing shows. And that's one thing I
Yeah.
guess gives us solace. We have numbers to say,
Mm-hmm.
well, this is what it's showing.
Yeah. And a diagnosis is not the end of the
Never
world.
is. It never is. And
So
it's just the hardest part is getting them connected to these services. Because I had a parent who I love her dearly, but she's so funny. But she's like, Raquel, you took me to court speech and language, and one of them told me they have a year-long wait list. What is that? What am I supposed to do? And I'm
Oh
like,
my
oh my God, I
gosh.
don't know. I'm like, I don't
Oh
know. Keep calling.
God.
But it was funny how she spoke. But that just
Yeah.
shows. I was like, oh my God.
Capacity again, that we don't have enough to support the needs of our kids. And I think because when we grew up, these things were probably not as identified. We just went through the emotions of this is how you're gonna be taught in school, this is how you're gonna learn, and either you keep up or you get kept down.
Correct.
And now it's a different way where teaching and learning is completely different to what we would have experienced. And we're not catching up as fast as these things are coming
No,
out.
and that's the hard part. But I mean,
Yeah.
as I say, the system is going to break. It's breaking.
Yeah.
And it's purely because we're going towards an exam. And if we just took a moment to actually
Correct.
teach, I think we'd give the teachers
Yes.
a big break. Because I know they're all stressed, and you see it in the standard 4 and standard 5 teachers, and everybody's gearing, no, we have to get this done because we're moving up. And I'm like, oh, well, okay. But so I understand. I try my best to understand sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
at some point we are going to have to reevaluate this education system. And I've had conversations when they tell me, Raquel, you don't understand. If we only try to implement change, what that would mean, and people would fight it. I'm like, yeah, but at some point, what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Yeah, exactly. Can't just continue one way and hope that it's all going to work out.
We're like ostriches right now, just putting our head down and realizing, let crime keep going up. Let these young boys and everybody just find a faster way to live and earn money. And with probably half of them, I might be talking big and bad here, but I'm sure half of them might have a learning disorder or some mental health issue going on.
Yeah, that has not been discovered or expressed as yet.
Correct.
You mentioned SEA and SEA 4 and 5. Do parents come to you at that point in time when each child is stressed out as well? Is that an option? Great.
They come from me for all exams, but
but that in particular.
Yeah, that one is a bad boy. That is the big boy because they don't have the emotional understanding and the foresight to realize this is because they drill down that this exam will make or break your life, and I'm promise it won't. But the resources that could be a little different. It's a little tricky because first choice, second choice. I mean, Sean used to make fun of me. You passed me your second choice, and I'm like, oh.
Sean teasing you. Sean, I passed my second choice too.
I mean, look at me, it's so funny.
But I wanted to go there.
Well, I didn't even know about Penal Convent. I grew up in Claxton. I only know about Holy Face Convent, Coover, and my mom was a Naps girl. And so she did, but she didn't want me to go. So even from then, she's like, "You are not meant for that." Remember, they didn't think I was smart, right?
Right. So ease on into Penal.
Yeah, that's typically when I work on Saturdays because I can't take them out of the lessons for therapy. So I sacrifice my Saturday every other Saturday during the September term to December term to give them that until SE basically. Oh, so what SE does is there's this because of these psychoeds, right? And this is where the battle is with the old psychologists and people like me. I am not about evaluating for an exam to give them extra time.
Right.
I'm about coming in early, so they don't need it then. But that's been a big. Everybody saw evaluations for that exam, so when they hear me, kind of going against it, they're like, "That's just a money making thing. They just want to make money." I'm like, "It's actually not. I would really like to get kids these services earlier." So I'm trying to change the culture of what. So how psychologists and evaluations work. So yes, we use it for SEA to support children that need it, but that's not the only reason we should evaluate, and that is trying to change that conversation because that's what was the old way of talking about it, and we want to come in early. Like I said, from 3 years old, I'm ready to say, let's do an eval and then see what's going on.
Yeah, totally agree. We've reached the part in our podcast with you see she finished the sentence. So you see she was meant to be taking something that was negative, the connotation, and flipping it into a positive. So Raquel, I want you to finish the sentence with you in mind. You see she is what?
She is strong. People after this day, she's intimidating. She is attention seeking because if you see how out of work, how I dress is I'm colorful. The carnival is me. I have the hair will be in.
You're vibrant.
You're
vibrant.
I am showing you my nails are always. She's standing out. I like to be like a disruptor. That is me. So when you see me, I like the intimidation factor. I love being tall. I love looking strong. But it's me. And I
Yeah.
love who I am, and I love if that's what you're noticing about me. You're like, she real wild. I am very wild, but that's how I connect with my children, the little tiny people I get to work with. So they're like, she had her nails. You know what? These children choose my nails. We have conversations. We go on Pinterest and we're choosing
Uh,
everything about me is to
but that's
connect.
how you connect.
Correct.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I like that. I mean, even back then, people used to think I was intimidating, and yeah, because I'm a big softie. I am. So don't if you're a little afraid of me, because I will cry very easily. As much as this is intimidating, and as much as I'm ready to fight and cuss and carry on, I will be doing it in
Yeah, yeah.
tears. 'Cause I am
Just in the
emotional.
corner.
Yeah, like, you too, I'm ready, but I cry.
But I like the phrase disruptor because I think in the conversation that we've had today, you disrupted the traditional act of your practice as well by using Bob,
Mhm.
how you represent yourself in your career. And yeah, and just your whole outlook and your vibrancy. I think I love that disruptor phrase. So I think that's a great one.
Yeah, I try.
Spot
I'm
on. Hmm.
anti-trends, like in that way. Like I've never even watched Game of Thrones. Like I don't think, yeah, like,
Yes.
and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but too many people hopped on it, and I was like, nah, I'm not getting into that.
10 years later.
I was gonna stream it during COVID, but I don't know what happened. I something
Oh
else, yeah,
yes.
because
What does taking your seat at the table mean to
I
you?
built my own table, girl, because I had to. But no, I will say this.
Yeah.
I feel like I am amongst my peers now understand, and I think they recognize I just did it differently, but we all are connected
Yeah.
still. But it's a respect factor, and being recognized as a voice that is important and representing the children of today in Trinidad and Tobago has been very important to me. I will sit at the children's table, I'll sit at my own table, and I'll sit at the big people's table. But I will not
Yeah.
sell myself out to sit at that big
Yeah.
people's table.
Yeah. Got it. Love it. Love it. I like that you could sit at any table. And finally, where can people find Raquel for support, for conversations?
So my Facebook page is Psychologist for the Growing Mind Limited. My Instagram page is PFGMLTD. And then you could WhatsApp me is always the best way to get me, but these days you probably will get my virtual assistant or just Kids. But you can contact 702-8386. Somebody will get back to you. And then you could contact Just Kids.
I have it in my phone, I think.
Yeah,
So I'll put it in.
yeah.
That's fine. All right, nice. And is there any words of advice or anything you'd like to leave with our audience before we go?
I just would say, I guess, for the moms out there, I always tell them, I'm the professional, you're the expert in your child. So if you feel like something is off, something is changing, advocate. Moms get things
Mm-hmm.
done. So do not ever feel bad or guilty for advocating for your child at all.
Yep. Very true. Very true. I think about parents, yeah, I could say in my case, Michael was the one advocating for my son more than I was because I was like, leave it. Like it'll pan out
Well,
in the
I'd
corner.
say parents, and I'd say
Parents,
parents do
yeah.
not feel bad for advocating for your child. You may get the pushback, and that's okay, but don't ever feel guilty for trying
Yeah.
advocating for your child.
And yeah. Stand up for your child, support your
Yeah,
child. It doesn't matter the outcome, it doesn't matter what feedback you get, but at the end of the day, at least you have some sort of baseline to go with and help support
mhm,
because you don't want it to be that later on in life you're trying to catch
catch
up
up.
or figure out something and then it actually is to the detriment of the child.
Correct. Because it's you don't even like. Okay, we chuckle. I have recently been diagnosed with ADHD. And it's so funny, like
Mm-hmm.
I live with anxiety, but I did not realize it was related to my ADHD and like these
Ah,
struggles and these whew, oh, if I had only known. And I went to therapy. I was diagnosed with anxiety disorder, but they weren't didn't the right questions weren't asked to me.
right.
Didn't dive deep into family history and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Because it is genetic as
yeah,
well, huh?
I see it.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, you
My husband has it.
you I
Mike.
don't want to sell
Yeah.
out my brother, but if you ever interact with him, you'd be like, oh. But he's very open about it.
But Sean was all, to be fair though, like I remember lying with Sean, Chinese, Teddy, and they were just so chill, like all the time. They were just
Because
real
they were
chill. And
boys
I'm like,
Sean was always playing football and always outside. And we used to laugh when he used to be on his
yeah,
phone. Thank God for cordless phones. He used to pace. I mean, we both did very successful
yes,
for not having certain things in place. But my anxiety became very crippling and it would shut me down for weekends. And because I just didn't even know
yeah,
how to get going. And I was ADHD partly brain. But I think if parents recognize, if we
mm-hmm,
wait and see, we delay, that
yeah,
you don't, I mean, I was very lucky. I had supportive parents and stuff like that. And I could cry to my mother and
yeah,
she may not know what to do, but she was there. But if you don't
yeah,
have that, you could just change the outlook or give the chance of the potential to really come through. And
yeah,
it's listening to these specialists or not being afraid to ask.
mm-hmm,
It's this,
mm-hmm,
we have this
yeah,
fear, but once you advocate and once you listen and try, that's
yeah,
all you can do. And like I said, everything I do is I work one child at a time. I'm not going to change
yeah.
thousands at a time. Maybe by now I've hit a few thousands, but one child at a time has always been my goal. And then when they come up to me or the parents come up to me and they're like, Raquel, and I'm like, this is why I do this. It's not about money. It's not about popularity. It's not having my name being thrown out there. It's about when the
Yeah,
parent comes back and says, thank you. The child is like, Auntie, thank you. I'm like, you're
yeah,
welcome.
yeah,
That is it. That's the moment. That is probably one of the things that gets me going every day when I get that. Thank you so much, Raquel. We've seen a difference. I'm like, "Yes,
yeah.
I'm still good."
You feel, yeah, exactly. You feel that you put all your energy into something and
Yeah,
it's there. You're seeing it for yourself. And it's obviously making a positive
yeah,
impact in the child and the parent's life.
yeah.
So there's that. So kudos to you guys who do this day in and day out and have the patience and the grace to do what you do with kids and parents alike, because that's not an easy
No,
task. Talking to somebody's child in a way that they can understand you and don't feel afraid or intimidated, and obviously being able to converse with the parents in the same manner that they also break down their walls so they're open and
yeah.
receptive to hearing the experts. So you do a lot. You do a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Raquel, for the conversation today. I think it was a really great one. And I'm hoping that, from conversations like these and more, that our audience learns a little bit more about you guys and all the great work that you do and reach out when they do see a need for some support.
Thank you for giving us this space because I think it's important and I'm honored to be on it. I'm so honored to now say,
Of
yeah, I've been on a
course.
podcast, guy. I'm definitely at the big
HFC.
people table. I was on a podcast.
I am not done, Lemon. But thanks so much.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, so guys, tune in for more episodes week to week. We have special guests every week from careers and industries from all over the Caribbean. And I hope you guys tune in and always feel free to message and reach out if there's anybody else you want to see on the podcast. Take care and have a great one.
Bye.
Bye.